Good morning, fifth grade. Today is Thursday, September 10th. I thought maybe it'd be easier if I give you a quick video of what we did today instead of just trying to teach it during a Google Meet. So today we had a lesson on how to spell long I and long O. I assigned page 19. We did a fluency lesson and we did a quick lesson on reference materials. So we had a lot of short and quick assignments today. So the first one was on long I and long O. And we just talked about the different ways that you can spell long I, including just the letter I by itself, like in remind. IE makes a long I sound like lie. EI makes a long I sound like, do I have an example in this page? I don't think they put in an example on this one. IGH also makes long I. We do have one like tight, IGH. Y also makes a long I, and I consonant E. And then long O can be spelled just with an O, like in, do we have one? Odor, just O by itself makes a long O sound. OA, like in foaming. OE, like in woe. And OW, like in toe. Oh, and a couple more. OUGH, like, let's see, they put one on there. Dough, like if you're kneading dough, is spelled DOUGH. And O consonant E also makes a long O sound, like bone. So we just went through the words and said them all, and then talked about the vowel sound, or how the vowel sound was spelled. So in line 1, we have spy, remind, toe, woe, lined. And you can see that 3 of them have a long I sound, spy, remind, and lined. And 2 have long O, toe, and woe. Line 2, ironed, tight, soul, road, lie. Line 3, arise, coal, window, cold, bone. Line 4, mope, O consonant E, flight, delight, necktie, and hole. And line 5, foaming, odor, boulder, tightened, prime. The next thing that we talked about was, you do have an assignment, which is page 21. It looks like this. And the directions say, at the end of each line, circle the word that contains the long I sound to complete the line of the poem. Line 1 says, little bird, you fly so hey, or hi. Well, I know hi, IGH, is a long I sound, so I would circle hi. Do that for 2, 3, and 4. Then the second set of directions says, at the end of each line, circle the word that contains the long O sound to complete the line of the poem. Line 5 says, I'm always fast, I'm never slow, or slew, I think is how you say this word. So I would circle slow because it has the O-W-O sound. And do 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 the same way. And then we did a fluency exercise that looks like this. And basically, we talked again about trying to read in a way that is meaningful to the person listening. And you might have to change your tone, you might have to change your volume, you might have to change your speed. But phrasing is really important when you're reading so that the people listening can understand your message. We also talked about how sometimes you might be reading out loud, how much. But if you can get your eyes to scan ahead to the next group of words, it can help you be a more fluent reader. So I might be reading how much while my eyes are looking at do you. Or as you get better at it, you might be reading how much, can't get it to highlight what I want. You might be reading how much do you know while your eyes scan ahead to the end of the sentence about economics. So we talked just a little bit about your eyes looking at the next couple words, or the next 3, or the next 4, or even the next 5 words. I'm going to just do paragraph 1, and you can use that as your one to read along with. So listen the first time, and then you can replay it and read it with me the second time. Supply and demand. How much do you know about economics? Economics is a way to understand how people produce, buy, sell, and consume goods and services. One big idea in economics is supply and demand. Supply is how much of something is available. A producer can increase the supply of a product by making more, or decrease the supply by making less. Demand is how much of a product or service people want. Demand depends partly on cost. Usually, demand is higher when a product or service costs less. When a product becomes more expensive, demand generally falls. To make money, companies need to pay attention to both supply and demand. That helps them decide how much their products should cost. So you can mimic me on that. And your last lesson is on reference materials. Today we just talked briefly about dictionaries, glossaries, thesaurus, and online resources would be like dictionary.com or any other source online that helps you learn about words or anything that you want to know. I guess there are encyclopedias too. And we just had the example one day in 1782, Captain Arsenio decided to build the first in a long series of eccentric projects that would change his life. So if I was going to look up the word eccentric, in a dictionary, they would tell me how to say it, the pronunciation. Then they would tell me what part of speech it is. Eccentric. Oh, if you call someone an eccentric, then it would be a noun. It also can be an adjective because it's describing someone, and then it gives a definition. If I looked it up in a glossary, I don't get all of that information. I only get the definition that I need to understand it in that text. And if I look it up in a thesaurus, they give me some other similar words that I could use in place of it. And that's pretty much your lesson for today. See you at the meeting.